The battle of mid-series stretches versus mid-series curls. We got Dignitas versus Endpoint. Loser goes home. James Bond, I feel like this could easily have been a grand finals matchup, and yet one of these teams is going to be out right now.
Certainly, but at this point, you know, you're top four. You've secured a ton of points for the Winter Major, which is what all these teams are gunning for, is finishing at the top so they can make it to land. So a good performance from both these teams, but a journey will end here. And like you said, worthy of a grand final. Dignitas has been playing incredibly. They've only dropped a single game at this point in the playoff round, and now we're seeing Endpoint start out hot. Relating Wave dropping in the first goal of the series.
Metzenara's out of the corner onto the backboard. Jory is barely not able to reach that off the goal line. Relating Wave to score first, draw first blood in this best of 7. Got to win 4 here, James.
It's a long journey, but it could be short. I mean, we saw Team Queso make quick work of BDS, so you know, no matter how good you're playing yesterday, it's the series at hand that's so important. And Dignitas, they were great yesterday, but Endpoint getting this first goal, and then Subi said it, Seiko has been lights out. Defensively has to get a nice touch, and does get that touch up high, buying time for his teammates.
James, we had the privilege of casting Dignitas just absolutely dismantling Carmine Corp yesterday, and we saw them in every aspect of the pitch express a lot of creativity. We saw it there on that last drive now here against Endpoint, looking for demos, looking for high pops to give it to the third man to take a shot. That creativity has been a staple of Dignitas gameplay. Excited to watch how Endpoint handles it here. Currently in the lead and now pushing for offense. Endpoint with a bump onto apparently Jack, trying to just open up space here in the corner.
And you also saw the bump from Relating Wave on his own teammate. Seiko getting bumped out of the play there, and that's not what you'd expect. And then just getting back to your point about the creativity, we saw Scrubkilla play one of the best series that we've seen him play in a long time. You remember that flip reset goal from yesterday was a career highlight for him. That was such a quality goal, and now we're seeing the physical plays, back-to-back demos, the bump, the pass, and the shot will ding off the crossbar, but more creativity from Dignitas.
Oh man, and the demo game from Dig right now is absolutely lit. They haven't missed one. That double demos on that last drive through. The only thing, double demo for Joyce, a 2-for-1, and he still can't get through Seiko on the other end. Apparently Jack and Scrubkilla both up for it. How do they read this? Trying to follow and make it happen, not going to get it through. Endpoint somehow, despite in a 1v3, holding on, and now they're going to get a counter attack.
The bump
against the bump. What is going on?
Seiko is what's going on. This play, big brain, gets control. Doesn't need to hit the ball again, just needs to plow Scrubkilla out of the way to secure that one. And despite all the demos, all the aggression, it's the aggression from Endpoint that will result in a goal. But that one demo, the 2-for-1, you don't see that too often.
To maintain speed through the first player, to successfully get the demo on the second player like that. I mean, we see him 1-2, but not like collateral straight through both at the same time. Yeah, that was. And Seiko's the one player who wasn't demoed there, James. He's the one player that makes the stop against Jack and then gets the breakaway on the other side. Flip reset, and then the goal for number 3. So you can't stop him.
You're right, Wave Punk. He is the one player. Look at this play.
Look at that.
The belly flop into the flip reset. And Seiko continues to show his class.
That was immaculate. Oh no, don't do it to him. Okay, we see a stop from Jorius. Now apparently Jack on the outside. Scrubkilla through one. Seiko's got an answer. Apparently Jack out of net, down by 3 here, just past halftime. Dignitas with their work cut out for them. Yet to get on the board. And at this point, this is the first. I mean, usually demos really do kind of set a tone for a game here, James. My brain's starting to ignore them. It's starting to be like, that doesn't matter. It's just, I've seen you guys get 15 demos this game, and it's not a single goal's got in.
Well, there are teams that just roll with them. You know, they don't mind getting demoed. One team that comes to mind is NRG. They, you know, have played so many demo-heavy opponents, but have found ways to deal with it. And as you saw, you know, a demo has to be timed right. It has to be perfect. A demo for the sake of demoing isn't always useful. For Seiko, you know, the best time to do it is the last player back. And Seiko with the stop. No way, he gets another. Oh, and he does. But it's still plowed through on the 50. And
Look.
we've seen Endpoint get stretched thin. And look at the effort from Seiko.
Apparently Jack scores. He does an excellent job. Seiko should have never in a million years gotten a second touch on that ball. He landed on the far wall, jumps side flips to maintain altitude, and manages to read the shot that's coming. Just the momentum on the side of apparently Jack. And back across. It's not Dignitas versus Endpoint. It's Dignitas versus Seiko.
And Dignitas versus themselves. Did you see that bump? Jorius running into his teammate. That was a gimme, and that one off the elbow. The rebound will come through. Dignitas roaring back. It has not been pretty for Dignitas, but they are within striking distance.
Dignitas, credit where it's due, man. They have put the pressure on here despite running into Seiko. A 3v1 against a team as good as Dignitas is not going to last up. And now a one-goal game, James. I'm not going to lie. The way that the first half of this game went, I was like, we can just chalk this one up. Endpoint's got this in the bag, and now it's close.
That was wild, and it's not over yet. Last minute of gameplay, Endpoint need an insurance goal with how well Dignitas has been playing, even with those few mistakes. And that shot will be blocked. Life kept by apparently Jack.
Open space, out to relating wave, back to Metanars, but behind him, he won't be able to take the shot, and he stalls all three Dignitas players, though. Apparently, Jack and Jory is now trying to advance down the middle of the field, relating wave with the booming clear. Metanars to try and meet it. He'll have second touch here. Looks for it off the backboard. Now relating wave. Misses one, Seiko. Dropping it for Metza. Scrub to the corner, 15 seconds left. Endpoint holding on to the one-goal lead. Burning time off the clock in the corner. Seiko in midfield, going to try and get it past Jack, but no. Here's Jack through the sky, over one, bumps into two. Seiko in the corner, clock has expired. Scrub's got to keep it alive. There's up one, now two. Apparently Jack sets it for Scrub. He's reaching for it, but Metanars puts it into the ground, and Endpoint will take game one. What a game.
Yeah, that was wild. I mean, we saw some crazy moments. That collateral that you called out, the solo plays from Seiko, that flip reset, that goal as well. And I mean, Endpoint as a whole having some really good team play moments, even in those final moments. Seiko getting that back pass to retain possession and keep melting more time off the clock. But this was so back and forth. However, it's a great single game example of the Seiko effect, the influence that he can have by himself. Even that goal from Dignitas was a Seiko highlight in the fact that he even got the first save and a piece of the second shot. He ended up losing that goal, ultimately getting it 50 through. But Dignitas, despite having pressure, we saw them run into each other a couple times. One goal was a gimme, and Jorius, I believe, ran into either, one of his teammates, regardless of who it was, and messed up that goal scoring opportunity. They clanged one off the upper 90 that ended up getting pushed back in. So Dignitas, they were threatening. It was a one-goal game, but Endpoint, the team play has been there for him. Plus, you add into the equation Seiko doing what he was doing yesterday, and this could be scary for Dignitas.
Yeah, for sure. The big takeaway, honestly, I have from game number one was the inaccuracy of the first half from Dignitas. It felt like they had all the pieces. They were paving the way for these shots and then just hitting crossbar, hitting just outside the posts. And that we weren't seeing those problems from them yesterday. They weren't feeling any pressure, and they were staying very accurate. Any one of those goals, like just as you said, any one of those goals goes in, we're in overtime right now instead. But Endpoint able to hold on to the magic Seiko gave them and get the win there in game number one, breaking a 9-game winning streak from Dignitas.
Yeah, they were on a tear. They were on a tear, and now they might keep it going. Scrub killer. A much-needed goal for Dignitas, losing that last game. That one definitely hurt. And a good challenge from apparently Jack.
Wow, look at the Scrub. I think the bounce off the ground, the bounce shot he takes here makes it difficult for both defenders. One is flying across the net off the sidewall, so Metanars there is kind of just making a pre-read save. But the second defender, maybe they should have been able to get to that one. And Scrub Killer going to start things off hot here for Dignitas, getting the first goal of game two. Touch from Jack in the corner will stall out the Endpoint offense. Joris with a clear. Metanars with the response, looking for the goal. Apparently Jack did it away. Joris demolished, and now Endpoint looking heavy on the demos.
Joreus spawning on the side close to the ball as well. Had to go to the opposite corner. Does recover nicely now. Hard read. Seiko gave it right back out off the crossbar. Chance for Joreus. Dignitas seems to have recovered.
Apparently Jack in the sky turning this one around, but out of boost, leaves it for Joreus, takes the shot, it's just a bit high, gets both defenders to bite though. Apparently Jack demolished though, so no immediate follow-up, no punish on the double commit. And Metzenaris now looking to take this shot poorly, take it away from Dignitas, not give them a free look at his net.
And just rolling it back to that last play. Oh, Scrub will get another one. Scrub having that scoring sense. And apparently Jack, he has been a nuisance to Endpoint. You see that, getting that demo, getting the challenge on the first ball, Scrub in the right spot. But apparently Jack has been in the trenches so far in this series. And sometimes it's that type of scrappy play that is needed to inch out these wins.
The demos framing the play on both sides here for game 2. Joreus with an open look and hits it off the corner. Not able to put it between the posts. I don't think Metzenaris even believed it. He didn't flinch when he saw the shot happen.
Joreus, he's been a bit off. Wait, Punk, you even think back to earlier in this game when he had the ball set up, double tap ball, ended up putting it very low off the backboard. If he gets it higher like we normally see him get on those first touches, he might be able to double tap that in. Also on that one, hitting it off the crossbar. A demo on the goal line, it's vulnerable.
It wasn't just a demo, it was a bump as well before this, James. They completely opened the door. Joreus bumped off the top of the net, Scrub Killer demolished, and then Metzenaris has an open net to shoot at.
That was brutal from Endpoint. Sometimes you overpower your opponents with the bumps and demos. And we saw Dignitas trying to pull it out earlier, but the effectiveness and the timing coming out of Endpoint on their demo plays has been much better.
Here's Metzenaris through the sky. Pass into Relating Wave, looking for the tying goal. Seiko has an opportunity, but he's facing the other direction. He's already rotating out. Probably got pit maneuvered at midfield. And they will not get the follow-up shot. Now Joreus looking to extend the lead. He's out of boost, though. He can't make the play. Now Scrub Killer passing back to apparently Jack, but Seiko's putting pressure on him. Here's Metzenaris. Into the goal. No, wide of the net. Scrub Killer to try and clear it away. And a Relating Wave now to the outside. Here's Seiko on the corner. Through one cross halftime, a 1-goal lead. Dignitas looking to tie the series. Apparently Jack gives it back to Joreus here. We've been talking about the demos a lot here, James. I meant to give everybody the update. You probably saw it on the scoreboard, but if you weren't paying attention, 8 demos from Dignitas in game number 1 here. Excited to see how those numbers change here for game 2. 0 from Endpoint in game 1, and that's not been the case for this game.
Yeah, then even though they didn't get the demo, we saw that beautiful bump play from Seiko. It definitely seems like Endpoint a bit more reserved when they choose to use them, but when they have, it's been more effective. Not as many demos from Dignitas this game. You can see they're adjusting. Apparently Jack doing a great job on his 50s, being that first player up and challenging the ball. But still, we haven't seen as much polish out of specifically Joreus. However, Dignitas keeping it close every game. You can see how quality all 3 of these players are. How difficult this series is going to be for Endpoint.
I mean, they're all using their team decals. It's gonna give you some.
It's what we all wanted.
Yeah, this is wonderful. There's Seiko. Around the corner, Joreus, a nice read up to Scrub and pass into apparently Jack taking the shot. 1, 2, 3. Dignitas extend the lead.
This Scrub, apparently Jack combo has been doing wonders, and that pass set up from Joreus on the breakout. This is the counterattacking Dignitas that we saw yesterday. Mainly yesterday, it was Joreus who was hanging out at the midfield looking for those passes, but today, apparently Jack and Scrub are leading that effort. And in this game, a much needed response to that brutal game 1 for Dignitas.
Scrub Killer on the ground, now to the sky. Got 2 players in front of him, not gonna look for bumps. Joreus, he opens the door. Gates are gone. And Joreus gonna score goal number 4.
And they're gonna leave it wide open at this point. Under a minute left. Oh my gosh. Scrub Killer, I think he threw away the key as well.
Yeah. He just blew it all out, just wide open for him. My goodness, love that. Man, it looked like he was going to take the shot, James, until the last split second, where he's able to get off that ball and hit wave. Oh, okay. On the other side here, Seiko going to find a goal after kickoff.
And it's not over yet. Seiko gets bumped on the play, gets back down to the ground. You see the side flip from Scrub Killer. It happens. It happens to the best of us. We saw it yesterday as well with Dignitas. Mistakes do happen, but now time running away, and 2 goals. They might get one here potentially. Endpoint trying to make this a game.
Relating Wave's got space, takes a shot to the far corner. Scrub Killer off the backboard will clear it away. Now, an Endpoint or a Dignitas hop there. As Joris out of the backfield. Clears it to mid. Metzner's trying to trap. Apparently Jack saw the trap coming. Blocks on the ground. 16 seconds left. Down by 2. Endpoint's got to get the whole length of the field. And Joris is just not even giving it to him. Pushing it back into the box. Apparently Jack over the top of 2. Oh, towards the goal. Can he put the security in? Not quite, but the clock gonna expire here. Can't score 2 goals in 1 second. I'll put it into the ground. Just a matter of protocol here. Dignitas bouncing back in game 2 to tie it up 1 apiece.
And it makes you wonder about the future of this series for Endpoint. Endpoint having a close game 1. It took some heroics from Seiko to pull that win together. Dignitas firing on most of their cylinders. I would say we usually can expect more from Joris, but apparently Jack and Scrubkilla have been working together beautifully up on that front end. So Endpoint not able to repeat what they did last game, and Dignitas having so much of the momentum. They've had a great response, and now the ball is back in Endpoint's court to see how they make adjustments.
Yeah, we got, in that game 1, it was 8 demos to Dignitas, 0 to Endpoint. Endpoint taking the win. Second game, 5 demos to Endpoint, 2 to Dignitas. Endpoint taking the win. So far, James, just a fun pattern for people to pay attention to. The team that's gotten the fewest demolitions has won the game.
And sometimes demos can be a tactic of desperation at times. Also a tactic of frustration, which generally happens when you're losing. So that may play into it a bit. But I mean, obviously, it's entertaining to watch regardless. And we saw some effective demos from Endpoint this game, even though they ended up losing. What we didn't see this game as much was the crazy solo plays from Seiko.
Yeah, Seiko, slightly quieter. Though, to call him quiet in game 2 after what we saw in game 1, I think setting our standards a little high. He had a transcendent game, and oh my goodness, Dignitas is passing. Down the field, Relating Wave will have a lot of space and finds an excellent clear upfield. Jory's in the third man, has to leap to stop. He was hoping to be taking a follow-up shot. Now Relating Wave through another player, but Jory is here. We'll finally find an answer. Metzner to the sky, forcing apparently Jack to fall into his back foot high in the air. Dignitas in their back third.
I mean, apparently Jack was up so early for that ball, using up all his boost, still got the touch, slowing down the play. Apparently Jack having a nice day. Joris. Flopping around. It almost panned out.
He almost got there. Oh, Scrub and Seiko get tangled up with each other. Seiko with an extension at midfield and now looking for the touch in the corner as 2 Dignitas players get through and Joris take the ball away from him. Metzner's winning the 1v2 here. Scrubkilla's got to come onto the third man. And a sloppy, rough ground ball between the players the last 30 seconds. Apparently Jack with a fake. Relating Wave's gonna reach for this, but low on boost. Joris takes it away from him, bouncing off the ground. Scrubkilla into the corner. And a shot from apparently Jack is good through 2 defenders. No way.
Scrubkilla is beating everyone in these one-on-one situations. You see, Seiko had to bail out early, and the hit from Scrub, perfect bounce off the corner. Apparently Jack ready. These two they're on the same page. Apparently Jack and Scrub right now are the threat for Dignitas.
You can't oversell how excellent that bounce was out of the corner. It had so much separation from the wall. The defenders were having to get so far away from their goal line to even make a touch. Neither of them did. And apparently Jack's able to keep it high, put it top shelf for goal number 1. Joris up to apparently Jack. Got Metzner here. Somehow Jack wins that challenge. I've never known. But now the other way! The counterattack! Too bad. Tie game.
I think this happened in Dignitas yesterday as well. Apparently Jack and Relating Wave pitch. Oh man, that hurts. I mean, gosh, what? That's almost the exact same thing that happened yesterday. Oh man, that was wild. That hurts.
Yeah, it's you gotta bounce back. You gotta take those. This happens. Here's Joris on the ground with the dribbles. Pass across. Apparently Jack, with touch from Seiko, will put it behind him. Now off the ceiling, looking for a challenge. Metzner takes it away from him. And Joris extends to midfield. Seiko 1. Scrub Killer. So apparently Jack blocked by Relating Wave. Bouncing back down though. Here's Scrub once more. Apparently Jack extends it back for Jorius, trying to get up in front of Metsadores. Oh, he did, but Seiko stands strong on the goal line, keeps us tied.
Seiko defensively has been brilliant. Rebound out to Jorius, a light touch. And Seiko will dunk it down. Seiko has had these reads that have been goal-saving, where you expect a normal player to miss. He has been wonderful on that back line. And now 1v1 situation, but that first touch got out a bit too far ahead of him. Good back check there from Dignitas to help out. You don't ever want to leave anyone in a 1v1 situation with Seiko.
We've seen it happen already, and it has not gone well for Dignitas. A 1-to-1 in game 3. Metsadores actually, he's over the top. I didn't realize he was in the back line. No one was home. He's going to get a free goal here. 2-1 Endpoint.
Yeah, Scrub Killer, rare miss on the dive. He was last man back, and we have seen that before. You even think back to the major, Scrub Killer sometimes as third man diving in when maybe a little more conservatively is what was called for. Unfortunately for Dignitas, that's going to give up the lead as well.
That's what we were complimenting Scrub on yesterday. His patience. And Jorius bounces down. 2 defenders on the backboard, both miss, and he nearly nails a third goal. But now Scrub Killer on the far side, empty goal. Apparently Jack's going to tie the game.
And this is redemption for Scrub Killer. He gets that touch past Metza and then gets the second touch into the middle, giving apparently Jack the chance to score it. Seiko was streaking back. He knew the net was vulnerable, but it was well played by Scrub Killer, opening up the defense on that counterattack.
With the saves we've seen Seiko making this game, if Dignitas needed one more touch to make that goal happen, I am so much less confident it actually goes in. They had to have the free shot, and they make it work. That's an Ars Relating Wave, though, on the other side now. Trying to regain the lead. That's stalled on the wall by Jack. Jorius up for this on 1. Misses the second touch. Seiko off the wall versus Scrub Killer. He gets the bounce, but it's above the goal. Apparently Jack in the far corner. Just the booming shot from his own corner. Relating Wave with his response. Now Scrub Killer on the side. Looking for demos. Doesn't find anything. Here's Jorius onto the backboard. Apparently Jack looking at it, but Metsadores has the opportunity to block, and he'll hold on to control through 3 players. Apparently Jack was hoping to take a shot. Now in the third man, having to fall back. Now with another opportunity, though. Can he take the lead? He's got enough boost to extend it over the top of Seiko. No, Seiko just barely gets his nose on it. Jorius off the wall. Scrub Killer wants to go for it. Both Seiko and Scrub miss, apparently, and Jorius streaking back to their half as Metsadores puts the pressure on. 42 seconds left. It's a tie game.
And that was such a big play. Seiko not making contact. The block was what was being played. Everyone missing. That could have been bad either way, depending on how that 50 went. Wild game. Under 30 seconds left, and we're tied.
Scrub Killer in midfield holds on. Seiko taking advantage of a little bit of space, but apparently Jack gets high, reads his touch. Now Metsadores trapped on the ground. Jorius to kill it. Tries to get a stop on Relating Wave, picks up the midfield boost. Wonderful rotation, but a miss. Jorius gonna be on the front line now. Up against Seiko, 7 seconds left. Haven't had an overtime yet in this series as the clock counts down. Scrub Killer trying in the side. Clock's expired, and it will go into the dirt. Overtime in game 3. Winner, next goal, takes the lead in the series.
A big game here. You can see how closely these teams are playing. Every game worth its weight in gold. And that's a huge block!
That's it.
Apparently Jack shutting the game down, taking the win.
Man, Dignitas did such a good job on kickoff, but Metsadores on this following touch. Dignitas had the kickoff, then they lost it to Mets on that back line. That touch drops catastrophically. Dignitas gets a free one to put it in. Endpoint calls a timeout here after game 3.
And you've got to. I mean, that is a tough way to lose a game. And that is such an odd play from apparently Jack. It's almost as if he read Metza's mind. Metza played that ball like he was expecting a challenge and was going to play it low. And maybe his vision was blocked potentially by the ball. When you're on ball cam like that, sometimes you can, it will hide the name tags or the nameplates of the opposing player. Apparently Jack doesn't even challenge at all. He just sits on the ground and played that perfectly. Metza ended up hitting the ball right at him, and all that was required was apparently Jack getting a block. So that was a crazy ending to that game. Endpoint calling a timeout because losing like that definitely hurts. You see Seiko standing up, the coach trying to talk him through. Relating Wave not at that same facility, but this is what Endpoint has done in the past. Get up, get around. Who is this? That Scrub?
Where's the curl? That is Scrub.
Yeah, doing some, yeah, get those knees going.
The high knees.
Uh-huh.
There's a stretch. I think everyone saw it. I'm putting this one on Metzenaris. Metzenaris started doing this during timeouts, and everyone was like, "Yeah, that's a good idea. We should do
It's
that."
working. I mean, Endpoint. It's been working for him.
Where's the curls though? Where's the curls? Come on, give me those bicep curls.
And maybe next time. And maybe next time when Dignitas calls a timeout, if Endpoint ends up bringing back 2 back-to-back wins.
We'll see. Tough job here, Endpoint. That's a rough one to shake. And sometimes, James, I wonder, especially. I mean, I think this is hard, right? So if you wait another loss, then you're taking the timeout right before match point. That's a difficult mental situation. But also, I don't know. Sometimes taking a timeout right after something like that Metzenaris touch and allowing him to sit there and like think about it. Obviously, they're trying to move his mind past it, but like he doesn't have more gameplay to distract himself from the mistake that just cost him the game there. That's got to be a really tough situation for Endpoint.
Yeah, I mean, it's just sometimes just the way it goes. And in Rocket League, you know, even a whole world championship, an entire season can come down to just a single play. You have to be able to move on. And if there's a one player that can get over that type of thing, it's Metzenaris. He has been in these situations. He has been around for a long period of time. So I expect Endpoint to be able to bounce back, focus on the positives. They did have some positives, but to me, Dignitas, this is their series to lose. We have been seeing a Dignitas team without Jorius playing at his potential, getting these wins. So if Jorius wakes up and starts making the plays we know he can make, you can expect Dignitas to put their foot to the floor, the pedal to the metal, and start pulling away.
They are already in the driver's seat after winning game 3. And they could take control of the series and run home. Seiko to the edge. Relating the wave, now looking for Seiko in the midfield. Off a lot of woodwork, and then back down somehow. Relating Wave gets a clean shot and makes it work.
And Relating Wave kick-starting this attack. And then I love the option from Seiko going for the ceiling play. So many players are amazing at reading the first bounce off the backboard. So what Seiko does there, you put it off the ceiling and the backboard, it becomes much harder to calculate those 2 bounces. You're guaranteeing essentially that ball will make it out to the middle. And it's much easier to read that coming up on the ball from the position Relating Wave was in.
It's not often I feel like you get a full family portrait in the slow-mo replay. Every member of Dignitas right there around Relating Wave as he's taking the shot. Like you said, they found that space. Nice separation. Metzenaris taking a shot. Jorius with a stave, and then apparently jacking into the ball quickly before a follow-up could come through. Going to try and take this one through the sky, but Relating Wave finds that perfect block spot where you couldn't fake him, also couldn't shoot it through him. Now on the other end, Endpoint looking to extend the lead.
It was a lovely block, though, from Jorius. That was not a gimme. Retreating back, having to make it over the shoulder.
Seiko takes it to the wall, gets bumped. Now Jorius pops it to the sky and follows it. Got the flip reset. Doesn't you make use of it? Everyone from Dignitas doing a good job stalling in the midfield. It was their midfield game yesterday. So strong.
Oh, certainly. And today it seems like it's been scrub killer mostly on the 50s. We've seen apparently Jack up there hasn't been as crazy.
Win from Jorius goes off of a retreating apparently Jack's side bumper. Now Metzenaris put it high. Seiko with a response. Back and forth play here. Seiko taking it to the sky off the backboard, cleared away. Scrub Killer wins another challenge. He's out of boost though.
You see, it takes all 3 members of Dignitas to be able to play the ball after Seiko takes the hit. You saw somebody on the backboard, somebody on the far post, somebody on the near post. That's what it takes.
A triple coverage, just in case. You never expect the worst. Relating Wave with the stop off the backboard. Metzenaris and Seiko both up for Seiko kind of stranded here if apparently Jack can get to it. He does, but it's off the crossbar. Follow from Scrub Kill is good to the far side. They absolutely posted Relating Wave. He was frozen in net tie game.
Dignitas marching back, and you see that slight jump The defense frozen. Relating Wave had to just go for it in that situation, but it was hopeless. You can see Metzenaris recognizing the situation too late. Scrub Killa able to put in that rebound, and now a demo off kickoff. Seiko having to get a good touch, but apparently Jack expecting Seiko perhaps to get that touch, wasn't able to make the read himself.
Seiko in midfield, Scrub Killa over the top. Jordy's got an open net again and in. Dignitas take the lead in game 4.
Scrub Killa had a great day yesterday, and he's having a great weekend overall. That pass behind Seiko, Jorius with the finish. Lovely vision from Scrub Killa, working the angles that were given to him. And Dignitas, they're bouncing out to a lead now. We're past that halfway point, and it seems like they are finally picking up some momentum.
We haven't seen any mistakes from Endpoint like on the goal line where they're just letting the goal in, but we are seeing mistakes in front of the goal that are leading to unblockable situations. Dignitas, both of their goals in this game, guaranteed as long as they hit their target, and they did. Jorius down to apparently Jack looking for goal number 3. Another block, looking for boost as well. Double demo in the midfield, 2v2 for the moment. Scrub Killa tries to stop this one. Metzenaris putting the pressure on him, only trailing by 1 Endpoint. We need to find time in the orange half. We're across halftime. They just took their timeout as well. Endpoint gonna have to make use of that mid-game calculations here or be faced against match point. Apparently Jack on the side. Seiko and Metzenaris against towards this ball. Jorius in the midfield will give a challenge. Now Scrub Killa versus Seiko. High in the sky. This one goes rough again. Metzenaris demolished the backfield, but Relating Wave advancing quickly in the third man and getting a demolition on Jack in the corner after missing the ball. Now Seiko through the sky. He's got Jorius and apparently Jack and Scrub in front of him. All 3 players lined up. Scrub will find a block. Now a Relating Wave to the sky. Jorius can't get there in time, and it's all tied up again.
And Metza, it wasn't the strongest hit, but it does result in a rebound. You could even see him just parked in front of the defender. Apparently, Jack could not get around Metzenaris, and if apparently Jack is not blocked by Metza, he's going to have a lane to go and block that ball. Metzenaris being a nuisance, and then the shot as well from Relating Wave, it was perfect. Lining it up, hitting it with the corner, getting every ounce of power that was possible. And we've got a tie ball game.
On the speed there from Wave, so important. If he's just a second slower, he beat Scrub Killa at the point of contact by a pixel. Scrub Killa finds the block there. And if somehow Scrub Killa made a mistake, Jorius would have found the block on the crossbar. No, Scrub Killa trying to trap that one. Make them look silly, but Endpoint hold on to their pants. Now Relating Wave up against Jorius. No good, 11 seconds left. Tie ball game, already had 1 overtime. Dignitas won it the last time. Looking to possibly finish it here in regulation, and apparently Jack the full length of the field. 3 seconds left, they're back on top.
And Seiko knew he was in trouble, decided to challenge early, and that was such a close read. Apparently Jack going all in on a normal backboard bounce, but if that hits the crossbar, you never really know exactly where it's gonna go. However, most of those angles were covered. Massive play from apparently Jack, and Dignitas will steal that one in regulation.
Wow, Dignitas. After having to deal with a crazy, a rallying Relating Wave in this game, able to steal it in the final moments off a demolition. Man, now on match point. What is Endpoint gonna do?
It's tough at this point. I mean, Dignitas, they're not playing the best that we've seen them play this weekend, but I think what we've seen is some really clutch plays from apparently Jack. You think back in overtime, he gets that read, that mind game on Metzenaris, predicting where that Metz is going to hit that ball, ends up winning it in overtime. And in this situation, he's in that race between Seiko and ends up getting it around him and has not an easy play off that backboard, especially when you don't know exactly how that ball potentially is going to bounce. It was covered beautifully by apparently Jack, winning that in regulation. Huge plays. Apparently Jack having the ice today in this matchup versus Endpoint.
Man, and the demo game continues to be fascinating to me. The game 3, we did see finally Dignitas get 3 demos and Endpoint get 2, taking the win there with more demolitions. Here in game 4, 10 to Dignitas, 3 to Endpoint. They've had nearly double-digit games 2 times here. such a brutal frontline game.
And there's more of it.
There's number one.
And sometimes you get demoed when you're just trying to block out a lane. And sometimes, even if you do get demoed, if you slow the defender down to where they can't get back to the ball, that's good enough. Last game, we saw Metza park in front of apparently Jack, and that did lead to a goal by Relating Wave. So it has been aggressive. It has been physical. But so far, Dignitas getting the upper hand, having the better day so far, and find themselves on match point. Endpoint might be going home after this game.
They've got to find a way to get to game 7. Apparently Jack in the middle of the field. Dribble and shot. And then demoed. Response from Seiko. Gets himself a save and a clear. Apparently Jack off the respawn. Pushing this through one. Oh, over the top. Scrub Killer is stranded in net. Metzanaris' shot too slow and too easy. Scrub Killer he just had to sit there and pray, and his prayers were answered.
Seiko's so good, though, isn't he? Wave dashing off this building, it looked like. Being able to get that ball out to the middle. Relating Wave's hit was just weak. And I mean, he probably didn't expect Seiko to do so much work.
Oh, misses here. Endpoint just wide of the goal. Relating Wave into the corner. Apparently, Jack's got an answer straight down midfield. The Scrub Killer over to Jorius, but Seiko blocks him in the backfield, playing all sides of the ball. Jorius now up for this. Metzanaris has to reach, but he'll hold on to control. Strands Scrub Killer in enemy territory, and Seiko now with control. Taking up the pass, looking for a shot, loses it to apparently Jack. Stays scoreless after the first minute. Dignitas just trying to put away Endpoint here in game 5. Jorius to the outside. Apparently Jack, long touch. That's Metzanaris. Pushes the ball away. Scrub Killer on the midfield looking to drop it down to Jorius, but Metzanaris with the interception as he had rotated out of net. Now Relating Wave on the outside. In the midfield's got 3 defenders in front of him. Jorius in the first man is able to get it past him onto the backboard, but the rest of Dignitas are repositioning back for boost. Everybody a little bit low on the tanks as they finally fill up.
An interesting positioning from Dignitas. At times you can see them so clumped up to where they're almost in the exact same spot, but quickly breaking out and getting in position. Everyone plays the ball so close, ready to jump in if they have to. Haven't seen a ton of double commits. We have seen a couple team bumps from them, but overall, Dignitas, the amount of speed that they've been playing with has been difficult for Endpoint to handle.
Well, Relating Wave puts it high. Apparently Jack now back down. We're across halftime. First time this series we've gotten halfway through the game without any goals. Dignitas playing patient, understanding we don't need to win flashy. Let's just win right here, right now. Every goal counts the same as the last. There's one demo. Looking for another. Seiko knows it. Just climbs a little high on the wall to dodge it and then manages to dismount perfectly to block the shooter. Now Scrub Killer through the sky. Metzanaris trying, but the extension. And Jorius is there. Relating Wave dives across. What a reaction to keep the game scoreless.
A great save from Relating Wave. It was a nice shot from Jorius. He picked that far post, lower corner, but Relating Wave had it sniffed out.
Scrub Killer up against Relating Wave back across the field. Apparently Jack's surrounded by Endpoint players, and he's gonna have to retreat out, let Jorius take control. Gets it past Metzanaris, who's out of boost in midfield. Apparently Jack now advancing, looking to connect with Jorius, drops it in! What a shot! You've been waiting for him to wake up, James. He's here now.
And what a time to wake up, and what could be the last game of the series, whirling around, making the adjustment, and putting the shot on target, leaving the Endpoint defense in the dust. See you later, Relating Wave.
He aimed his nose straight at the sky and corkscrewed to the craziest cherry pick, but Seiko says, I do not care. 1-1, we're tied back up.
He just does it himself off kickoff. Scrub Killer getting faked out of his mind. Scrub Killer ice. His axle's broken out there on the field.
See Scrub Killer's eyebrows up, just taking a sip, like, okay, we're gonna forget that ever happened. He's going right back to the drawing board.
Forget though. And even if he forgets, everyone else is gonna remember.
Yeah, we'll see that one on Twitter. There's apparently Jack now to the back corner. 1 minute remaining, despite, I don't know, like there's been some really excellent goals this series, but that Jorius one is definitely one of my favorites. Despite that, Seiko gets it on kickoff, and then Relating Wave immediately bounces back, and now they're in the lead.
And I thought this was over. Seiko continues to get second touches on the ball that nobody expects. You see him boosting, even getting that light little tap was enough to open up this opportunity for Relating Wave. So Endpoint, grit and determination, perseverance. I thought it was over as soon as Joreuz hit that shot, but no, they come roaring back.
Apparently, Joreuz scoring a banger was like the sleeper words to awaken Endpoint. They're just waiting for Dignitas to score. Now, and Joreuz on the outside, 30 seconds left in regulation. Dignitas trying to force a second overtime. There's apparently Jack down. Pass to Joreuz in the third man, not in position to recover that, has to rotate back. Now Scrub Killer back to Joreuz though. Oh, over the top of his teammate Seiko in the corner. 14 seconds left. Scrub Killer chase him back, Relating Wave, puts it off the post. Joreuz now back to apparently Jack, takes it to the sky, trying to put it underneath. It's just Scrub Killer in the back to Joreuz, dreads it off, back to Scrub. Relating Wave dives and makes the stop. 0 seconds, can they keep it up? No, Metza puts it into the ground. Endpoint stave off the upset, and we'll go to game 6.
You know, we'd have to go look at that replay again, but I think that ball might have been just bouncing in. And Relating Wave actually may have saved it. It was tough to tell from the perspective I was on, but that was almost disastrous for Endpoint, giving Dignitas that chance. But man, they did make amends blocking those final shots. It was scary for Endpoint. On the counterattack, you saw the plays. And I mean, this game was neck and neck for so long, scoreless for so long. Joreuz hits that redirect. You think the series is over. Then what Seiko does off kickoff, he makes Scrub Killer look silly. And then Relating Wave cleaning up another situation where Seiko's aggressiveness, his perseverance, and also his mechanics, being able to get these follow-up touches that throw the defense off. It does just enough to open up these opportunities. So Endpoint fighting back. This situation, man, honestly, watching that game, Endpoint stole it. They stole that game. And Metzenaris has completely forgot about that play, giving it up to apparently Jack, losing in that game. Endpoint's moved on, and now they have stabilized. Have to win one more, though, to force the final game 7 of the series. Will Endpoint be able to do it?
Dignitas going to look to close this out. Man, you would have thought, again, we kept saying, like, when's Joreuz going to wake up? He finds an incredible goal here and it does drop in. Okay, apparently Jack, goal number 1 of game 6 here, starting off good.
And apparently Jack, he has been beating so many players on Endpoint in these 1v1 situations. That time, Metza diving down the middle. Apparently Jack finding the space to Metza's left.
Apparently Jack now on the outside, slows down on the wall to try and get over the top of Relating Wave, and does so. Seiko in front, Scrub Killer with the stop. Now apparently Jack back to Joreuz, just a bit high. Follow from apparently Jack's gonna be high again. Is Scrub here? Metzenaris tries and gets the block on Scrub. And now back down the other side. Seiko's touch just a bit wide. Gonna need the double tap, and Scrub's not gonna give it to him. Takes it off to the corner. Dignitas holds on to their lead. Now Seiko on the ground, up against Joreuz. He's in the corner now. Endpoint is held on to control. And a stop from Joreuz on the goal line, Relating Wave to dump it back in. 3 rounds in the Dignitas back third. Finally get to get the ball across midfield. Scrub Killer finds a demo on Seiko, and Metzenaris taking to the sky. Loses it to Joreuz though. Back down in the corner and blocking Seiko. Joreuz falling like a rock. Not allowing that ball to move. Now Relating Wave back to midfield.
Nice ball there from Scrub Killer to hit that high. Buy time for his teammates. Joreuz last one back. Seiko looked like he might be hunting for a bump. We've seen some really quality passes. There was the one pass from apparently Jack to Joreuz, and then even Seiko down to Metza. Well, the thing we haven't seen is that killer finishing from anyone quite yet. And that might be due to nerves. Tournament lives on the line. Endpoint still on match point. If they lose this one, they're done.
Man, Dignitas is barely covering their net here. Endpoint absolutely vicious in the back third. It's Relating Wave through 1. Joreuz gonna try, and Relating Wave finds a block. Seiko now with control, only 40 boost, trying to dump it to the teammate. But both of them fall back, and apparently Jack gets a monster save. Here's Scrub Killer. He's got Seiko breathing down his neck, but takes it to the backboard. Relating Wave pushes it back to midfield, and Joreuz now on the outside, taking it high. Apparently
back
Jack.
to back. fantastic challenges from Relating Wave to kill this Dignitas attack.
His 1v1 has gotten so much, and not improved, but like just come into its own over the course of this series. Scrub Killer frozen there behind the wall. We're across halftime. Dignitas with the only goal. The only one they need. But can they hold on to it this time?
We saw a team bump. Apparently, Jack accidentally ran into Scrub Killer. That gave Relating Wave some breathing room. But unfortunately for Endpoint, they weren't able to make much of it. And what on Scrub almost got bumped into that. It's still dangerous, and it goes in. This whole play, a result from Scrub Killer getting pool shot by Seiko into that ball.
And Metanaris finds the empty corner. Endpoint. They had 3 chances, but the third one worked, and they tie up the series again. They will just not go away. Trying to force Game 7, Champions Field. Here comes Joyous on the other side. Seiko with a block. Scrub Killer. Now to the sky. Metanaris. Through one. Jory's now off the wall. Put into the backboard. Seiko has the clear. And doesn't have the second touch, though. Apparently, Jack to an open net. No, Relating Wave dives across. Keeps him tied up.
Didn't get as much juice on that shot as he was hoping for. Apparently, Jack slightly soft, giving a chance for the defense, really making it a routine save in what could have been a more difficult save situation.
Here's Joreus over the top of one. Relating Wave getting hounded in net, but Seiko comes screaming in the third man. Off the side, Relating Wave now recovering from the harassment. Makes another stop. Endpoint. Look like they put him on the ropes, and they don't even look like it. Dignitas put so much pressure in their back third, and yet the defense is perfect.
Endpoint, I mean, even in this first game, Wave Punk, if you think back, it seemed like Dignitas was going to break down the Endpoint defense, but Endpoint, they held up and ended up getting that first game win.
Oh, this back pass from Seiko. I love that off the backboard. Just a little bit too strong, though. Past his teammate. Now Seiko trying to reach for this one. And bumps into Relating Wave. Some space made. Can apparently Jack make use of it? Passing it back out to the midfield. Follow from Joyce, puts it high. He's going to need some more help, though. Here's Joreus back in the sky. Dropped to apparently Jack. Soft touch, puts it high. Seiko now up to block Joreus again. And Scrub just hanging back in that third man, being patient the way we've seen him play in this entire event. 25 seconds left. It's a tie game. Who can take it? Do we go to Game 7? Scrub going into the corner. Bounces back out for apparently Jack, and he nails it! So much speed from Dignitas. They've got the lead with 14 seconds, looking for the win.
And it's App Jack once more. Big play after big play. Jack has rose to the occasion, and he might be that X factor, that little bit that puts Dignitas over the top.
Putting it high. Final moments. Can Endpoint find the magic? It's got to be Seiko. Joreus doesn't even let him touch it. Back into the box. Relating Wave with the stop. 2 seconds left. Seiko tries, still can't touch the ball. Scrub Killer putting it back. Relating Wave trying to get it to his teammate, but it's into no man's land, and Dignitas take Game 6, staving off a rallying Endpoint. What a series. Dignitas moving on.